Welcome to this explainer. Okay, today we are diving straight into DepEd Order No. 24, series of 2020, to demystify the Philippine Professional Standards for School Heads, or as we'll be calling it, the PPSSH. If you're an educational leader right now, or you're aspiring to become one, consider this document your absolute roadmap.
But before we get into the nitty-gritty of the policy, I want you to think about a really fundamental question. What actually drives student success? We usually think of the teachers, the textbooks, or the curriculums. But what is the ultimate catalyst that raises learner achievement across an entire school ecosystem?
Well, the OECD hit the nail on the head back in 2018. They said, the quality of an education system depends on the quality of its teachers, but the quality of teachers cannot exceed the quality of the policies that shape their work environment. Boom. That right there is our why for today. Strong policies build strong environments, and strong leaders are the ones who execute those policies to support their teachers.
So here's our game plan. We'll look at 1. Why school leadership matters, 2. The PPSH framework explained, 3. The 5 domains of school leadership, 4. The 4 career stages, and finally 5. Implementation and professional growth. Let's get to it.
Part 1. Why school leadership matters. The ripple effect of quality leadership. You might be wondering, why do we even need new standards right now? Well, look at these global and national catalysts for change. We've got the K-12 basic education program, ASEAN integration, globalization, and of course, the changing character of our 21st century learners. These 4 massive shifts meant the old 2010 competency standards for school heads, they just had to go. We needed a total rethink for the modern era. Research actually shows that school leadership is second only to classroom teaching among school-related factors when it comes to impacting student learning. And that brilliantly illustrates your personal stakes in this educational ripple effect. If you are a principal or hope to be one, your role is central. Quality school leaders empower quality teachers, who in turn develop holistic 21st century learners. You are literally the rock dropped in the center of the pond that pushes excellence right out into the classroom.
Moving on to Part 2. The PPSH framework explained, putting the learner at the center.
Now, this framework isn't just about bureaucracy or ticking boxes. It is a beautifully synergistic system. It is learner-centered at its very heart. It actively builds stakeholder networks for school effectiveness, focuses deeply on high-quality instruction and school culture, highlights transparency and accountability, and it's heavily anchored on inclusivity. It's all about balancing school effectiveness with people effectiveness.
To really appreciate where we are, we kind of have to acknowledge where we came from. The outdated NCBSS from DepEd Order 32 back in 2010 is officially rescinded. In its place, we now have the 2020 PPSS. It's K-12 aligned, it's internationally comparable, and honestly, it's a continuous continuum of professional practice, not just some static checklist you file away. Which brings us to Section 3, the 5 domains of school leadership, the core components.
Before I just throw a list at you, let's clarify what a domain actually means here, just to cut through the educational jargon. A domain is simply a broad conceptual sphere of school leadership practices defined by specific strands. Basically, think of domains as the major buckets of responsibility you carry every single day on the job. And here are those 5 major buckets. 1. Leading strategically. 2. Managing school operations and resources. 3. Focusing on teaching and learning. 4. Developing self and others, and 5. Building connections. These 5 categories beautifully organize the 34 specific strands of leadership practice. So don't worry, you don't need to memorize all 34 today, just focus on mastering these 5 high-level categories. So what does this actually look like on a Tuesday morning? Well, Domain 1 handles your vision, planning, and policy implementation. Domain 2 handles the nuts and bolts, financial management, and school safety. Domain 3 targets learning assessment and giving teachers feedback. Domain 4 focuses inward on professional networks and performance management. And Domain 5, that brings it all out to the community through inclusive practice and engagement. It's the whole shebang.
All right, Section 4, the 4 career stages, a lifelong journey.
This journey isn't a rigid set of boxes. It builds step by step up a ladder of proficiency. Step 1 is the beginning stage. This is for aspiring heads who have acquired the basic knowledge and qualifications. Step 2 is proficient, meaning you're independently applying that knowledge. Step 3 jumps to highly proficient, bringing in advanced skills and shared governance. And finally, Step 4 is distinguished. You exhibit absolute mastery, model the highest standards,
and truly empower your wider community as a transformational leader.
Because ultimately, career progression is an ongoing commitment to inspire school personnel, continuously pursue excellence, and create lifelong impact. The true goal of progressing through these 4 stages isn't just about a title change or a salary bump. It's about embodying a real culture of shared accountability and continuous improvement within your school.
Which leads us to our final part, Section 5, Implementation and Professional Growth, from Policy to Practice. So how does DepEd actually support you in this? Well, it comes down to 2 specific bureaus. BHROD, the Bureau of Human Resource and Organizational Development, handles the HR side. They anchor the recruitment, performance appraisals, and rewards to these standards. Meanwhile, NEAP, the National Educators Academy of the Philippines, takes the lead on providing the actual training. They design the professional development and capacity-building programs. Together, they provide the ecosystem to help you level up to your next career stage. Let's bring it all together for you. Mastering the PPSS is a real game changer because of these key implications. It drives your career-long professional growth. It establishes evidence-based leadership practices in your daily routine. It formally demands active stakeholder engagement. And, perhaps most importantly, it serves as a public statement of your professional accountability to your students and your community.
I want to leave you with a thought-provoking question, straight from the source material. How can the PPSH strengthen leadership practices in our school? Take a moment today to really chew on that. Think about how you can practically apply this roadmap in your own educational community. Thank you so much for joining me on this explainer, and keep leading the way.